Hello and welcome. It is day 3 of the 5-day MINDTRX challenge. I'm Pete from MINDTRX, and yes, we're going to be announcing today's winner a little bit later of the 1-year subscription to MINDTRX. But first, let's welcome today's guest host, Dr. Marlene Siegel. Hey, Marlene, how are you?
Amazing, Pete. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun session today. This is going to be very different, so I'm very excited for it. Now, Marlene, you've been a longtime paraliminal user, and you're a renowned veterinarian and you've developed the widest array of alternative therapies and services for pets. It's really cool what you're doing, and we'll be talking a little bit about that today. And one of the things that she's going to do is to help you understand how you can use paraliminals to help your pets, and how your pets, like Scarlett, my cat, can help achieve your goals in life. So this is going to be great. Marlene, how did you come about using the paraliminals yourself?
Well, because I do integrative medicine and emotions and belief systems and reprogramming them are very, very important, I was looking for a tool that would help me with the portion of the emotional aspect that we were dealing with when we talk about positive and negative emotions. And
Mhm.
so I came across paraliminals as a way of helping to reprogram the subconscious mind in an easy and fun way and very effective. So I've been using them for over 20 years.
Yeah, excellent. And one of the distinctions that Paul Shilley has made is that it is not so much about reprogramming the subconscious mind, because when you talk about reprogramming, it kind of implies that there's something wrong, that it needs to be fixed. But what it is like the name of our company, Learning Strategies, is that we're learning new strategies on a deep inner level and how to respond to what's going on in the world. And that's what the paraliminals do. And it's just absolutely beautiful how they work.
Totally agree. But what happens for a lot of people is they have these emotions that come up
Yeah.
and they feel like they're a victim to the emotions. Now, I think we live in a hologram. I think this is Earth School. And when these emotions are coming up, I think they're the program coming up and saying, hey, look, there's this emotion coming up. Is it something that you want to keep experiencing or not? And it gives us an opportunity to decide if that emotion is helping us to live the most vibrant, healthy, happiest life possible, or is it a program that we want to reshape? Do we want to transmute that into something that is more useful in our life today? Because that program was there in our past for a reason.
Yeah.
It's in our subconscious mind. So it was literally hardwired into our mind because we needed it at some point. But if we don't need it anymore, it's our opportunity, kind of like a computer, right? When you open your computer and your hard drive's getting kind of full and you have to start clearing off some of your files, well, you can't stand across the room and yell at your computer, delete, delete, delete. You have to literally open the computer, open a file, read it, and decide, do you want to delete it or not? And I ask this to my clients all the time, and they've never missed it. What happens when you hit the delete button on your computer? What does it tell you, Pete?
Are you sure? Because it'd be
Exactly.
permanent. Yeah.
Exactly. It's going to permanently delete that file. So are you sure you want to do that? And our subconscious mind does the same thing. It's programmed to keep us safe, to help us to live in a world, and it's a program it knows. So when you say delete, it's going, I don't know, I don't have anything to put in its place. Now there's an abyss there. So do I really want to go there? So this is, using your program allows us to take and put something else in there that makes us still feel safe, but it is also more empowering.
Exactly. Exactly. So, Marlene, tell me about entrainment.
So entrainment is a physics principle, Pete. This isn't even woo-woo. And
Yeah.
it that when two energies come together, they start to share their energies. There's a little experiment with the 5 balls that hang down. I believe it's Newton's principle. And you hit the balls together and they start going chaotic. But then within a minute or so, they're all moving with the same energy. And if it wasn't for the friction of air, they would go on forever. So animals and we all entrain to each other. So when we are giving off a particular emotion, that emotion is triggering neurochemicals. So when we're in fear, we're producing neurochemicals that communicate to our cells that there's danger outside. And when that happens, our cells are programmed to either turn off or turn on genes that will allow us to adapt and survive. Well, in that process, those around us are in training to it as well. Now, we've all experienced this. You go to a really good sermon or a really good lecture and you leave there super empowered, a Tony Robbins thing, right? You leave there and you go, I can do this, because you're in training to the energy of that speaker. Well, our pets entrain to our energies. So when we are fearful or angry or frustrated, not only are we communicating to ourselves and turning on these epigenetic factors that are creating sometimes negative things in our body, but our pets don't understand what we're experiencing. They're just feeling the energy of it. They're in training to those energies that we're putting off. And so that will actually create sympathetic tone in their body. And the sympathetic tone is the fight, flight, run, because there's danger. And it's great if you're in danger because you need to survive. But we only heal in a parasympathetic state. So we were designed to be able to turn off the sympathetic when the danger was gone and turn on the parasympathetic to heal and repair and regenerate and detoxify from the event that we just had. But in today's modern society, it's everything keeping us in sympathetic tone. It's the day-to-day work and the stress and the kids and the traffic and the toxins in our food and the EMF in the homes, and it's everything. So we're not turning off that high sympathetic tone, which then our animals are staying in high sympathetic tone, and we're all suffering from this inability to really rest, repair, digest, and detoxify.
So then that makes sense why when I listen to a paraliminal, Scarlet the cat jumps on my lap. She may not be there right away, but at some point she comes on, and so I think she just wants to be in that energy so much.
Absolutely. And another thing that pets do, which is really interesting, because I believe that they're here to help lighten the load that we go through. So we can be experiencing, let's say, super anger or frustration or grief. And who comes over to be petted, their head comes under, or they get on our lap? It's our pets. And as we intuitively reach out and start to hold them, hug them, or pet them, we start to feel better. And I think every pet parent out there has experienced this. It could be your horse, but you go out there and you just start to relax and feel better. It's because we're in training to their energy and they're taking some of that heavy load off of us. And I don't think that's an accident. I think that's part of their soul mission and being here with us.
Yeah, that's when my dog Josie, may she rest where she is, every time I would come home, back when I used to go to office every day, I'd come through the garage door and she would be there and she'd be so excited. She'd be running around, bringing me all the toys that she played with during the day to show me what it was. And it didn't matter what I said or how I responded. She was just so joyful. So it was like she was there to give me that love, and she did always lift me up.
Yes, and they teach us, if we pay attention, how to live in the moment.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
We're so
Absolutely.
busy in our mind, we're in the future, we're in the past, we're just encompassed with everything but the moment now. And
Yeah.
that's all they care about. We could walk out of the room and then come back in 2 minutes later, and it's like we've been gone for a year. They're just so happy to be there. And it's a great lesson for us to learn.
Yeah,
Just
it really is.
how to
It really
sit,
is.
how to look around, how to appreciate who you're talking to, just be. It's just a wonderful thing.
And for those who don't have pets, what you were saying about entrainment, that really works for everybody in the household, even the plant. So as you're using the paraliminals, that energy that you're creating, that you're tapping into, that's spreading to everybody around you. So it helps everybody that's in your home. And Chenny Lin from Springforth Qigong, he said that when you do a meditation, like a healing meditation, you're actually affecting 1,000 people around you with your energy. So that's, with or without the pet, listening to the paraliminals do affect everything that's around you.
Absolutely. And, I mentioned pets because I'm a veterinarian, but I also live in a food forest. I created a food forest around my house.
That's right, yeah.
And it's amazing. I have jackfruit coming on for the first time in 7 years. And I literally talk to my plants. There's an energy exchange as I'm showing them gratitude and love and attention, and they're feeding me back energy and, of course, produce. So it's truly everything in our world is here to support us. We just have to slow down long enough to appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're here today because of the MINDTRX challenge. And we all want to get more from life, and we want life to flow with happiness, with great health and abundance and wisdom. We want the new year to be filled with love and prosperity. And the paraliminals will help you, as you know, as you've been using the paraliminals these last couple of days, or for those who are subscribed and been using them now for months or even for years. And if you want more information about any of the paraliminals, if you're new to them, there's a ton already built into the MINDTRX app. So, when you go to that player page where you just push the play button, right below that play button, there's bubbles for information such as before listening, how it works, best ways to use, possibilities for going on, so many different things. It allows you to go in and to learn more about the paraliminals so that you can get more from them. And then Paul Shealy's coaching. Marlene, have you watched any of Paul's coaching sessions on the app?
Not on the app, but I have for years.
Yeah, because we actually took the ones that we were putting off in real life and we put them into the app. So there are over 60 of them in there for one for each of the paraliminals. So it helps you get more, from the paraliminal. But the cool thing is that you don't have to read anything or watch anything to get the benefit, because the paraliminals were created so that all you have to do is to press play. You don't need to read it. You don't need to understand it. It's the same with the metaphors. When Paul's going to the voice in each ear, you don't need to know why he's saying those things. We get a lot of people writing, why is he talking about this? Or why does he have, this stream going there? It doesn't matter, because that's all part of the magic that Paul's weaving. And when his voice splits into multiple voices, just let your mind drift. Just go with the flow of the rhythm of the voices. You can even fall asleep. We've made them as easy as possible to get all the benefit that you want. So as you listen today and for the rest of the week, share with us what's happening. Let us know what you're noticing, what progress is happening in your life. How is what you're doing now affecting your day-to-day right now, or the goal that you have for yourself for the week? Do you feel more motivated? Do you feel inspired? One of the things that people say a lot is that there's synchronicities that start happening in their lives. And maybe the synchronicities have always been there, but they're noticing them now. So see what happens. And then as you get ideas like that, or as you have things you want to share, put them in the MINDTRX Facebook page or in the special web link that we have in the reminder email for you today, because write us and tell us and share, because every day we're selecting randomly somebody from that, the people who submit, to give them a 1-year subscription to MINDTRX. So that's really cool. So
can I share how I use mine? Because
yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I'm very intentional with my life. So the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I get into my sauna, and that's when I start playing something from the app. And I'll pick something that's energizing or motivating, or if I've had a challenge the day before, I'll pick something that may address that. And so I'm combining my morning. A lot of people say, oh, I don't have time to do this or that. Well, you got to make time. So I do that when I'm in the sauna. And then at night when I get home, that's the last thing I do. When I lay down, I set my intention. I go through my gratitude journal for the day. And then I pick usually something that's going to help with sleep. And it just ironically, 2 nights ago, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't go back to bed, which doesn't happen very often. And so I started playing the whole sleep tracks. There were 3 paraliminals in there. So I just hit the play button and it just went all the way through all 3. And I just laid there and I didn't focus on it. I wasn't really trying to listen to it. I was just allowing it to occupy my subconscious mind and take care of my conscious mind, keep it busy while my subconscious mind was being retrained. And by the time I fell asleep, I really woke up in the morning just feeling fantastic.
Yeah. So, when you fall asleep at night, you get into that hypnagogic state where all these images are just going to go, whoa, and you know that you're going to sleep. Well, that's one of the beautiful things about the sleep tracks. If you use them just before bed, if you wake up in the middle of the night, when you allow those voices to go and you just kind of let go yourself, you get into that state again, which makes it so easy to drift off into sleep. That's one of the beauties of the sleep tracks. And I'm so glad that we have the app, because we've always had the sleep tracks, but with the CDs or the online program available through the library, it's always more difficult to use them, but now they're so simple.
Absolutely. It's been fantastic.
Hey, Marlene, should we read some of the stories that people have?
Oh, I'd love to. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start out with Lisa from Arizona. She wrote, today I listened to the Sleep Deeply, Wake Refreshed as I was having trouble sleeping in the middle of the night. It helped me relax so I could go back to sleep. I also listened to Talking to Win because I will be giving a speech this week at a corporate meeting. Then we have Tanya, who wrote, I am intrigued by the paraliminals that are available within the MINDTRX app. My main goal is to decrease my brain fog and feel more relaxed throughout the day. After using the 5 elements healing paraliminal for the 2 days in a row, I definitely achieved a deep sense of relaxation after listening to the audio. I plan to try the Euphoria paraliminal tomorrow. Oh gosh, we can't wait to hear how your experience was, Tanya. And then Tamara wrote, I listened to Prosperity. It was interesting how things just seem to fall into place today on making connections. There's the synchronicity. Everyone was open and communicative. This is why I wanted to make more business connections to improve my clients.
That's sweet. Prosperity is one of the most all-encompassing of the paraliminals, because at the beginning, Paul will ask you 3 questions. What area of your life would you like to have more abundance? What specifically would you like to have? And then if you could have it now, would you welcome it? And then the cool thing about those 3 questions is that they can apply to any area of your life, from your health to writing a research paper or what have you. You can use the paraliminal for that. And then Paul goes into the process with the paraliminal where he helps you get ready for doing that and for you to attract whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. So that's a paraliminal. Whenever I don't know what I want to do, if there's something that I want to achieve, it's that prosperity paraliminal that I'll go to. So I got some more here. Kelly from Illinois wrote, my reason for listening to the paraliminals is to help myself restore my mobility and health while worrying less about doing so. As a highly analytical person, I tend to obsess about figuring out the root cause of my mobility issues, and I worry about taking the right action. But I also understand that my constant worrying is not helpful. So I'm using paraliminals to help me let go of the worry and the fear and all the fatigue that goes along with it. So the 3 paraliminals that come to mind for me when I read that one of them is the prosperity that we just talked about, because you can use it for it. But the belief paraliminal and the letting go paraliminal. So try those out today and tomorrow too. I think you should see some nice results from them. Now, Shamu from India, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment about belief systems. A belief is literally a thought you keep repeating. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. It's just something that you were programmed because either your parents taught you that, or a teacher taught you that, or you saw it on the internet. So belief systems can be reprogrammed. And this is where in the beginning, I talked about taking a thought and looking at it and saying, is this serving me a purpose or not? So if you have a belief that isn't serving you, then this is a wonderful paraliminal to help reprogram that into something that would be more serving.
Yeah, and see, that belief paraliminal has 2 sessions. So session A is about helping you identify the belief that is not serving you. Yeah. Session B is about installing a belief, a new belief that will serve you. And as a result, that old belief is gone. It disappears. There's no more energy left in it because that new belief is there. And the cool thing about almost any of the paraliminals is that they're all working to make changes to bring you new beliefs that are supportive for your life and for your goal. So they all work together from that perspective.
That's huge.
Yeah. Shamu from India wrote, first of all, a deep gratitude for getting me introduced to this. Actually, the law of attraction got me this as I came across the word paraliminal a few weeks earlier, and then this gave me a chance to experience it. That's sweet. So my main goal, to improve prosperity in all areas. My insights, everyone is deserving to live a better life. I feel joyous about my goal. I enjoy the process of achieving it. It's no longer fearsome. So I listen to prosperity, live in the law of attraction, and I'm going to be listening to the intuition amplifier. Listening to paraliminals, it's like hypnosis or psychotherapy. It's so simple and it's so effective.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It is hardwiring our beliefs into something that is more serving to us. And it's easy to do. You're literally just relaxing into it. Well, I have some. I have Shirley from Florida. That's where I'm from. And she wrote, abundant money mindset was my listening choice today. I wanted to let go of my childhood memories of lack. There's your old belief systems. Our mother raised 3 children on her meager factory wages. We are all successful and have experienced abundance, but stepping out of the sense of being poor is very difficult, and it was ingrained into your very being. I listened so that I could embrace that little girl I was and fully integrate her into the adult that I am. Oh, I love that. I can tell her it is all okay because couldn't I couldn't have what I wanted as a child. Doesn't mean that I still need them now, nor does it mean I should waste money on frivolous things. I will also embrace quality over quantity, a good lesson to learn even at 77. Go Shirley. Heather from Minnesota wrote, on Sunday night, I used a confidence building paraliminal because I had a job interview on Monday and a big presentation to give Monday night. It really helped. Now I am using the health and well-being sleep tracks. They are great. And then I have Mariki from France wrote, my goal is to improve my relationship to myself and others. I recently learned that I have a complicated attachment style, which keeps getting in my way. I have tried several approaches to heal my core wounds, with little or no lasting results. After listening to the paraliminal positive relationships, I feel energized and hopeful. I have often troubled to fully let go when I listen to hypnosis tracks, but this time it worked. I will continue the experience. Good job.
Yeah. So Anna from Croatia, she wrote, this is my very first time. It's all new to me, but I loved the first day. I did the paraliminal for health because I have some problems with my legs. And wow, the next morning I felt so good. There was so much lightness in my legs. I love this and I'm looking forward to more. Bless you all. Tammy from Virginia, she wrote, listening to the paraliminals helps me gain clarity in my new everyday life and motivates me. I just listened to Get Around to It and immediately motivated me to start doing stuff. It inspired me in a way I cannot explain. That's the Get Around to It paraliminal is one of the coolest ones because that's one that often incites people to do something instantly and immediately. I mean, all of a sudden the garage is cleaned, the cupboards are emptied out and the floors are waxed, and it's just kind of cool how it does work. And it works because what Paul guides you to do is to take a look at what your priorities and your motivations and your values are in your life, and it aligns it with what you're saying that you're putting off. And if it's out of alignment with your goals and value, what you're putting off or what your goal is, that paraliminal will help you see it so that you can make the adjustments in your life to get something that's more consistent with who you are and what you want.
Procrastination is one of the biggest things that people complain about, and they just don't know how to get around it. So this is phenomenal.
Yeah, it really is. And that's the cool thing about it. That's a paraliminal session A is the one I'll go to every once in a while, simply because it really does help you look at what you're creating in your life, what you're bringing into your life, and it helps you tie it into your inner self. So it really helps bring in that spark or that inspiration for the day too. So do it. So Anna from Indiana, she wrote, my main goal is to overcome procrastination, here we are again, and to be able to focus on my business tasks. My day are frustrating, typically due to the frequent distractions. Yesterday, I listened to the 10-minute supercharger, which did boost my energy. However, the real surprise occurred when I was listening to Letting Go. That had a major effect while listening. I could not stop yawning. I felt more relaxed afterwards and was able to sleep better. I will be using this one daily. Yeah, letting go is something you can do every day.
One of the things I'm loving about hearing everybody's experiences is that they're all sharing different paraliminals that they use and their effect on them. So these are wonderful opportunities for everybody here to start exploring other paraliminals that are in the program. I know there's a few in here I haven't done before, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, I have Natalie who wrote, my general aim is to be completely off the hard life syndrome, AKA life should be hard. Correct, we don't need to be there. By cultivating a new consciousness and thoughts that are highly compatible with it. I have the impression that these paraliminals can be good companions to this task. It is my first time with the app. There is so much to discover, far more than I thought. Yesterday, I listened to Sleep Tracks Prosperity. Nothing to say about it because, well, I slept easily, but it didn't prevent me from sleeping. And I found it easy to relax to the rhythm and the tone of Paul Sheely's voice, which is already a really good point to say. Today, I'm going to try self-love as a gift by giving myself with love. I will lay on my bed and just relax. I'm thanking you warmly for this opportunity to try this app and its content. I wish you a great day. I've got one more, Pete. I
Yeah.
have Judy who wrote, Dr. Marlene, I'm struggling with the loss of my pet. Oh, Judy, what suggestions do you have for me? Note for Pete.
No, that's my note for me.
Oh, sorry, Pete, your turn.
Yeah. No. So, yeah, what do you suggest from everything that you know from working with so many people who've lost their pets? What's the general advice that you give people? Then I'll give paraliminal advice.
Yeah, so it always comes from a root cause. So the grief that she's feeling, or Judy, the grief that you're feeling, is attached to something that you've experienced before. We can always tell when something is hardwired in our emotions because you instantly go back there and you keep repeating it over and over. Different place, different person, different pet, but you keep having that experience. So I would suggest going into exploring where have you had this pain and this emotional feeling before this pet, and then start exploring how to let that go. And there are, Pete, can you share some of the paraliminals? Because I know there are several here for helping to heal.
Yeah, the ones that folks find the most benefit with when it comes to loss of pets or any kind of loss: fresh start, belief, the new history generator, both session A and session B, because session A helps you go into the past and clean up and clear up emotions that may be getting in your way now. And session B is the one that you would listen to on your very best days and your very worst days to help you get through the worst days and also to support what's going on in the best days so you can continue with that. Another great one, new option generator and the new behavior generator. We also have a resource for you that you can take a look at. If you go to learningstrategies.com, our main website, search for grieving the loss of a loved one, and you'll find the stages of grief. Or you can just Google the stages of grief. And then, because what you'll find out is that there's so many different ways that grief will manifest in your life. And depending on what's going on with you, that will help you determine which paraliminal you can use. So when you look at the stages of grief, you may go, no, that's not me, that's me. Yeah, anger is me. I need to deal with that one. So, and then you can just find the perfect paraliminal that way. And again, that's grieving the loss of a loved one or on the stages of grief. And that's a great resource.
Well, Jody, I'm excited for you because we talked about how when emotions come up, it gives you an opportunity to explore them. And there are so many pet parents who experience this same kind of a loss. And this is your opportunity to look at this emotion that you're having and trace it back to the roots so that you can really heal it. And this pet came to you to help you to do that. So I look forward to hearing wonderful stories, Jody.
Yeah, and that new history generator session A for going back, that'd be really superb for you. Angie wrote, I listened to the Abundant Money Mindset and I felt so relaxed during and after listening to it. Today I'll listen to Focus and Concentration. My goal this week is to have more focus and a clear mindset on what I need to get done to achieve more abundance in my handmade business. Another one to use besides the ones we've been talking about would be the miracle mindset. That one is so cool for what you were just describing there and the different mindsets that you can have for your business. Nicole wrote, I have big goals for 2024, yay Nicole, and really need more positive and flexible mindset. I chose belief to listen to this morning, and I've already planted new seeds in my timeline. Great. I already feel an expansion in my body, and I'm looking forward to continuing with the belief paraliminals for the entire week. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to try something different, and I'm excited to step into the changes I know are coming. And Willow from Missouri, she asked, how many of these can I listen to a day? I mean, without frying my brain or causing damage. Well, the truth is you can't fry your brain. You can't cause damage. Listen to as many as you'd like to do. What you don't want to do is to be listening so much that you're feeling overwhelmed, because you still want to live your day. Typically during the challenge, once in the morning, once at night, if you can, maybe lunchtime or right after work. And or you can listen to them one right after another. Just kind of feel what's going on with you. There's not going to be any negative side effects for you at all.
And I would recommend keeping a journal. So when you have an emotional experience or something happens in your day, and then you listen to a paraliminal, write down which one you listen to, and then just be open to receiving those synchronicity things that are going to happen, and then journal it, because the more you're able to prove to yourself that this is really working, the more powerful it becomes.
Yeah, so one of the things, I think we talked about it with Tom yesterday, and you know Tom, you're a good friend with Tom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so is that when you listen to a paraliminal, like the new behavior generator, session B, which is about modeling somebody, you listen to that once. You don't have to listen to it every day for that same person. Just listen to it once. Put it on your calendar to come back 2 to 3 weeks later and take a look at what has happened. Has that behavior manifested in your life? Have you brought on parts of it? Do you need to go back and do some more work for it? Because that's one of the cool things about the paraliminals, is that they happen, then you let it happen. But to have the calendar or to have a journal, that helps make sure that you understand, yeah, something really is going on here. And that makes it so much easier to continue listening to the paraliminals too.
Absolutely. And speaking of the new behavior generator, Janet wrote, she tried the new behavior generator last night and woke up with a much more positive outlook. After listening to Tom McCarthy, I'm going to peak performance, as I have some training material to put together tomorrow.
Well, I did peak performance session B this morning before we came on. And so at that, Tom's paraliminal is absolutely superb.
Oh, I can't wait to listen to his. And he's just an amazing individual.
Yeah.
Okay, I have Daniel from Washington, D.C., and he wrote, I've been putting together my goals for 2024. This is continuing an exercise from last year where I interviewed 3 different future me's personas. The one that resonated is called More Actualized Me. This week, I've listened to the 10-minute supercharger and the abundant money mindset. I haven't been able to attend MINDTRX webinars, though, due to scheduling issues. Does anyone know if they're recorded for us?
Yeah, they are recorded. And when you go into the app, just go into the MINDTRX challenge section, and you'll find all the past recordings there. And we'll keep them there, I think, for about a week after the challenge. So yes, they're there for you.
Awesome. And then we have Beth from Canada. Get around to it and peak performance. Both paraliminals were really encouraging. I'll do the second peak performance tonight.
Yeah, excellent. So Bayfield, she wrote, I believe he's a he. Bayfield wrote to make 100 dials a week for 90 days. The ones I would use there, that get around to it, prosperity, self-discipline, and another one that would be really good is the self-esteem supercharger, because especially if you're on the telephone and if you're getting some rejections, or if you're dealing with difficult people, when you listen to the self-esteem supercharger, nothing can faze you. You have this confidence, and you just have this way about you that everything's just going to go just fine. It's one of my favorite paraliminals. Wendy wrote, I have been challenged with extreme sleep procrastination and avoidance my whole life, and the cumulative sleep deprivation impacts every area of my life at an alarmingly increasing pace now for that many times. Indecision adds to the challenge. So I've ended up listening to Sleep Deeply, Wake Refreshed, Happy Money, and the 10-minute supercharger before I notice a habit changer section in the MINDTRX, which I'll target next. I only started last night and this morning, I have been encouraged by an unfamiliar sense of relaxation and whole body tingling vibration that I have not experienced from other practices. That's cool. I love the simplicity of the process for me. I found I wasn't so troubled by the idea of potentially choosing the wrong one, as they all have great benefit for all areas of your life anyway. Thank you for the opportunity to try this experience. And Wendy makes a real interesting point is that don't worry about picking the perfect paraliminal to listen to because it all can support your goal. If you want to find one that's going to, if you want to look and to be drawn to one and to use it, do it. And then if there's another one, do that one too. But don't worry about doing this one or that one. Just push the play button and get on with it.
Yeah, using your intuition to guide you will actually be one of the best opportunities because sometimes it's something that you didn't even realize you needed and boom, there's your answer. So that's a great
Exactly. And intuition amplifier is really, really good paraliminal to use too. So Janet asked what to do when you have one of those days when things don't go planned. Well, we kind of talked about it with the new behavior generator, the new history generator, session B. You listen to that one on your very worst days and your very best days. And the other one to use, the self-esteem supercharger, because when things aren't going right, that brings you into the spot to where they do go right.
All right, well, I have Liz, and she wrote, I have used Happy Money and the automatic pilot today and have thoroughly enjoyed them. My goal is to publish my first book on Amazon this week. Go girl. And I feel confident that I will succeed. Yes, you will. Next, I will make use of the walkabout paraliminal. Then we have Susie, and she wrote, today I listened to Get Around to It and was amazed at how many things I was totally focused on getting things down efficiently with ease, and it was great. Then we have Natalie who wrote, today I will hear Finding Treasure, new behavior generator, happy for no reason for the first time. I feel I have to adapt to not controlling what is going into my head. Well, that's new. Yes, Natalie, we all have to experience that. And Raquel wrote, I chose Success and Prosperity sleep tracks yesterday night and fell to sleep. This challenge represent a gift to me. Represents,
yeah.
Okay, and thanks.
Yeah. That's it exactly. Everything that you have here, all the challenges that you have, either the positive ones like we're doing this week, or challenges that will come up in your own life, look at them as a gift. And then it becomes so much easier to move through them.
Yeah.
So I love doing these stories, and there's a whole lot that we weren't able to get to or able to put into this. So we kind of chose the ones that we thought people could identify with. So keep sending them. We'd love to read them. Maybe someday we'll just sit and read them all day, but So how about you? What do you want to let go of, or what do you want to achieve? What will help you with your goals and resolutions? Scan through that list of paraliminals in the app and select the ones that interest you, that just might help you with the challenge. Don't worry, like I said before, about picking the best one. Just pick one. And speaking of picking, before we went live today, I used an old random number generator on the internet to draw today's winner. So Marlene, do you want to announce the winner for today?
I am delighted to do so. And today's winner is Natalie Charlouette, who won a 1-year subscription to MINDTRX. Congratulations, Nathalie, Nathalie.
Yeah, Nathalie, I think, yeah. And we just read one of her stories too. So it's kind of nice that we were able to choose her twice. And so to claim your award, just send an email to customerservice@mindtrax.com and we'll get you set up. Again, customerservice@mindtrax.com. And if you're enjoying MINDTRX and the paraliminals, we hope you upgrade your MINDTRX subscription so that you can get ongoing access to everything in the MINDTRX app. Use the link in the reminder email from MINDTRX to subscribe. Remember, the challenge ends on Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. That's when the paraliminals will lock up. So if you want to continue the great feelings, then please subscribe today. And if you use that link in your reminder email, you'll also receive a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, which means if you change your mind, you can get a refund. So it's really, really easy. Just use that link. And if you love the app, the $99 US dollars is really cheap for an app as robust and useful as MINDTRX. It's only pennies a day. Whereas, if you go to the Learning Strategies website, you can buy everything if you'd like, but to purchase everything, it'd be $2,795. That's a lot. For the $100, you get it all. And because of technology, we can make so much available in the app. We don't need to warehouse and ship CDs anymore. It's all so much more accessible to anybody, even on the most on the tightest budget. So Marlene, you've been using MINDTRX for some time now.
Yeah.
What do you think of the app, and what's your favorite paraliminal?
Wow, that was a lot to ask. So the MINDTRX is absolutely amazing. Of all of the programs I've ever been involved with, this is 100% absolutely the best investment I've ever made. And I'm big on investing into things that help me to be a better person, to help reprogram negative thinking, and to be positive. I couldn't think of anything in this program that wasn't easy to use. You can randomly go through and pick stuff, or you can go through and have intention, all there to help us to really live that life that we all came here to live. Nobody came here to be a victim. And you mentioned a few minutes ago how everything happens for a reason, and I really do believe that it does happen for a reason. So everybody that's here on this program and that's listening to this, you're here for a reason. This is an opportunity to take and invest into something that's going to be so beneficial for you. We spend so much money on garbage, going out to eat. Not that that's necessarily garbage, but you can take one meal and that cost of going out for one dinner for two people, and that would pay for your whole year of MINDTRX. That's how simple it is. Get rid of the television and start reprogramming your mind with this positive stuff. And which one is my favorite? I'd have to say it's all the sleep tracks programs.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have that monkey mind at night, and I need to really help myself relax and go into that nice deep sleep. And sleep is probably more important than the food that you eat. It is so important. And so I have, over the past few years, really focused on getting good sleep. And I used to sleep 3 hours a night, and I thought that was great. And now
Yeah, I know. You realize that's so
did
great.
it for years, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And now I get deep sleep, and I find out how much more restorative it is for my body, how better thinking I am. So if you're one of those people that don't sleep very much at night, or you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't go back to sleep, definitely I would say the sleep tracks are amazing.
So you mentioned the sleep. I used to get by in 5 to 6 hours of sleep, and I thought I wore that as a badge of honor because I could get so much more done in the day. But then I started working with JJ Virgin. So she's a nutritionist, and her book is The Virgin Diet, her main best-selling book. She also did the Miracle Mindset Paraliminal that we talked about a little bit earlier today. But one of the things that she told me to do is she says, you got to get more sleep. You got to sleep at least 8 hours a day, probably 9 hours a day. I said, JJ, I can't, because when I wake up, my eyes open up, next thing you know, I'm out of bed. And she says, don't get out of bed. And I said, well, what? And she said, no, set your alarm. I said, I don't have an alarm. And she says, well, set the timer on the stove. When you go to bed, set it for 8 hours, and you can't get out of bed till that timer goes off. You can't read, you can't listen to paraliminals, you can't do anything, just lay there. And within a couple of weeks of doing that horrible task, I was sleeping 8 hours a night. And it was just really interesting. And I felt so much better during the day, and I don't think my productivity dropped whatsoever. Everything was better for that. And so, yeah, sleep is really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and one other thing Tom mentioned yesterday about his work with Zoom and about their big goals for this coming year, and how they're not going to be able to achieve those goals by being the same person or the same company that they are now. It's like with you, Marlene, you play big in the world. And the only reason that you can play big in the world is because you're constantly working on yourself to move you to the next level. And that's what the paraliminals can help. If you're happy and comfortable with where you're at, great, no problem whatsoever. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're ready to go to the next level, that's what the paraliminals are for.
A lot of people, Pete, have a big heart to do something in the world. I find that I really don't run into people that go, oh, I just want to be a coal lump sitting on the couch and watching TV. They really don't. But in many cases, they don't know how to take their purpose and their passion. They don't even know what their purpose and passion is, and they don't know how to bring that to the world. Well, we live in the best opportunity in the history of the world right now to be able to focus on what you love and to bring it to the masses. We've got technologies, we've got support, we've got paraliminals that can help you do it. There's so many opportunities for us to step out of our comfort zone and to step into what the world really needs. And every single one of us has something that the world needs. And I encourage you to bring it forward and share it, because it's what makes you feel really, really good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've been enjoying Marlene today, which I'm sure you have, we'll be sending out an email after the challenge with her information so that you can contact her, you can see what she's all about. And she also has an ebook that you can download called The 5 Keys for Healing Your Pets. Got to have that. It's full of very useful information if you have the pets. And if you don't have a pet, maybe you have a spouse or a kid that you treat as a pet, and maybe that'd be helpful for them, huh?
It is. It's applicable to people and pets.
Yeah.
It's lifestyle.
Okay, so coming tomorrow is the amazing Marie Diamond as our co-host. She's creator of many of our amazing programs at Learning Strategies, including Diamond Feng Shui, Diamond Dowsing. She's a best-selling author. She was a featured teacher on The Secret in the book and the film. Amazing woman. Marlene, do you know Marie, or have you used any of her programs?
I have. She was one of the first people that I was introduced to in the early stages of the paraliminals. Yeah, fantastic stuff.
Fantastic. So Marlene, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Very, very appreciate you bringing in your wisdom and your knowledge about the pets and how, what you're saying about the entrainment. That is very cool. And so it's been a joy to talk with you, and for everybody at home, have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here with Dr. Marlene and me, and we'll see you again tomorrow with Marie. And then on Friday, Paul Schilly's coming back. Marlene, any last minute words?
The world is here for you, not against you. And use your paraliminals to help get the most out of your life. It's amazing.
Beautiful. Bye-bye.
Bye.